Okay, everybody, so now we are on to the man himself, Todo, one of my favorite characters as well. I've actually got three characters here. Well, not three characters here. I've got actually two here that I like, Todo and Megumi. I do like my character as well. And then I'm just missing one other of my favorite characters. But again, the box is kind of the same. He's the same size as Gojo's box. He's got a bigger box than anyone like the smaller size boxes. I mean, I'm not gonna go too much over in depth on the box here because I mean, they're literally all the same. Like all the ones I have that are the same. So opening him up, and they all have that silver backdrop in the back here. So getting him out of the box comes with quite a bit actually. So move the plastic tray, and let's get him standing up, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at his accessories. Move him right there. So he comes with actually quite a bit. So if you've been a longtime fan of my channel, you know how I feel about these. I don't like these because I don't like the idea of having to pull the arm off, pop this on. I just don't. I don't like the crossed arms effect. I will keep them in my like my figures boxes and stuff, but I just will never use them because I just don't like the crossed arms effect. It's kind of to me. I'd rather have like an effect part than a crossed arms effect, but I mean that's a piece you get with him. Then before we go over like the faces and the hands and stuff, he comes with one more part that you wouldn't consider, I guess, how do I word this? Like a body part. He comes with his little. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what you'd call this here. I believe this is called an amulet, where you have like pictures inside of it. It's like a little. I've either heard it called a locket or an amulet, but I'm sticking with a locket because I like the term locket better than an amulet. But he comes with that as well, which I'm surprised it's not already on him. But I mean, it makes sense because when we first seen Todo, he didn't have. I don't think he had the necklace there showing. But on to the faces. So the faces here, you get the. Let me move his face up so you can see. You get the like happy, expressive, smiley face that he already has when you take him out of the box. And then you get two of these actually. I don't know why, but you get two stern, unhappy, expressive faces here. Yeah, just looking at him right now, I think the only difference is you get like the eyes are less, I guess, squinted on one of them. But you get two pretty much of the same identical face. Then you've got a screaming, well, not really screaming, but like a haha kind of face, which pretty useful for like stop motions. Then you've got his like I want to call this his boogie woogie face, but every time he uses it, he doesn't make this face. It's just kind of like a, I guess, happy expression. But you get this face here too. Then onto the hands. So you've got this hand here, which would be used for like, I'm assuming when you, well no, I wouldn't say assuming. You would use this for like if you have like a Yuji, because with that pose that they do. So you have that hand right there. And then you have these grapple looking hands, like some might argue they're just relaxed open hands, but I'd say these are like grappling hands, like charging after you or something. Then you've got his, of course, signature boogie woogie hands. Ah, yes. What's a Todo figure without without boogie woogie hands? Basically, they're just like hands like this, but you got those as well. And then you also have these. These are more like, I would say these are more the relaxed, open hands. And then you've got the, I'm assuming this is when he's holding the amulet. Yeah, this is when he's holding his amulet. Like that. That's what that hand's used for. Quite simple, actually. So, I mean, for the most part, Todo here comes with quite the bit of accessories. I mean, you get all of that with him. And now, let's move all the accessories to the side so we can see Mr. Todo himself here. So, I mean, whenever I go to replace the, or, well, not replace, but pop off the face, I will go ahead and do this and just pop it right off. For anyone who's wanting to know, the actual peg is about, my camera will focus. Hang on one second. Okay, so I don't think it wants to focus here. But you got the rough estimate about how big his face is. Or not face, but his ball peg is. Then to take his face off, I mean, it's quite simple. You got the head here. Okay, camera, I need you to focus, man, please. Alright. Then you just kind of wiggle the face off, and I mean, that's kind of how his face goes on. It's two pegs here. You got like a little socket there, and then the little square piece in there. And then you have this piece right here for the square. And then, as you can see right here, you have the bracket piece here, and the two holes. Pretty simple. So instead of putting on the other face, let's go ahead and put on his like expressive happy face. Quite simple. I thought they were like different head sculpts, but they're just that much of the face is that much. Then you just simply push right back on. Now, I normally like to take my figures off, put the face on, and then do that. Sometimes I'll leave the head on and do that, but I like taking it off versus doing that. But for the most part, he's got really good expressive like ab crunch. You can go about that far, then you can go about moving the head back. He can tilt back about that much. So there's that much. The head, he has about, moves it about that much, looks down about that much, and looks up about that much. So he's got quite a good bit about articulation. Then in terms of being able to cross the arms, I don't think with this figure you're going to be able to. No, so you're able to get his arms standing straight up about that much. He has a little bit, but I'm sure with some modding you could get his arms to do that. I probably won't, just as I don't want to mess with him. Then his feet here, you've got your standard stuff like this. To me, he's got an okay ankle pivot. Not too great, not too good. Well, that's two of the same thing. Not too great, but not too bad either. His toe pivot's pretty good as well, like most SH figuarts. He's on the same thing, 3.0 ball joints here. And then I don't know why with mine, he's kind of got like a rocker here in his upper thigh here. But you move his leg out, he can kick in about that much. He can move his leg out about this far. Now, most of you are probably wondering, seeing the back of the box, can he do this? I have not tested that yet, but let's go ahead and try to get him into that pose. He's looking off to the side like that. Then like this. They have him more of at a side range like this. Yeah, you could probably get him at that. Is he standing on his own doing this pose? hell no. Just sitting him here, he's rocking. Look at that. Yeah, you are not getting him to stand in that pose by himself at all. If you have a stand, yeah, you can definitely get him to stand in that pose, but you're not just standing him up on the table and he'll sit in that pose. So yeah, he'll do that pose. Cause reason I wanted to check that is because you've got figures like hang on one second. So real quick, kind of off rip, you have this Vegeta here that if you look at the back of the box, we're not gonna open him here, but if you look at let me move Todo real quick. If you look at the back of the box here, it shows he can do that really extensive high kick. This figure here, without extreme modding, cannot do that kick. I have the demonical fit one, which I'd like to think can do that high extensive kick much better than the one right here, but that's still a good figure. I would recommend go watching my review, but let me go put him back and we can get back to the review. Alright, so then now we're back. I just thought I'd mention that, as this figure has way better pelvic region, or pelvic moving area, but I mean, for the most part, this figure is very expressive. Like, I'm thinking I can get him to do a frontward squat like this. No. Okay, so you can't do that because of the back here. I mean, if you move his leg like that, you could get him to do a ballerina kick. I don't know why you'd want him doing a ballerina kick, but there you go, doing the ballerina kick. But out of the entire figures I own right now that are JJK or such, Todo is definitely my favorite. He's very expressive when it comes to posing. Like, look at this. That is cool. Like, I get it's a small little portion of detail, but I like being able to turn him to side like that without having to turn the whole torso. Like, I like that. I will say the upper neck peg here, well, not the neck peg, but it is pretty tight. So be careful with that. And definitely be careful with the legs here. But Todo has got to be my favorite one out of the entire line so far, due to the fact that he's super expressive. Like, hang on one second. Let me see if you can stand him up on one leg, but last time I tried to do that one pose, he wasn't really cooperating. No, he's not wanting to stand. So, like, I mean, definitely, I have no problem with this figure at all. The only thing I think, I don't know if this is just my copy, but this little thigh pivot right here, I don't know why they decided to add a thigh swivel or a thigh pivot here, but otherwise, honestly, that doesn't really hinder his rating for me. For me, he's got a 10 out of 10. Like, I just like the way that this figure came out. Like, he feels very expressive. Things don't feel so tight to the point where they're gonna break, but they don't feel super loose where they're just gonna fall right off. That's what I like, is he's tight, but not, like, loose. Not the horrible loose. But, definitely, Todo has gotta be my favorite figure of this entire line. Because, like I said, he is very expressive. I mean, you could use this body for so much. Especially, I've seen people take the head off like this, and, put, like, Goku's head on it, Roshi's head on it, with, like, I think it's blue tack or sticky tack, but, they took that and made it like a, I guess, you could use this for a really good martial arts body, like, just take the head off and you could make it into anybody, really. But, Todo is definitely a 10 out of 10 for the entirety of, this line. I have a lot of 8 and 9s for this line, but he is definitely a 10 out of 10. He comes with a fair amount of accessories and such, and the detail is pretty cool. But if you guys see him, go ahead and pick him up, because I think he is a really cool figure. He's probably one of the best figures out of this entire line so far. But see you guys in the next.